Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you here. If you've already been here, then thank you so much for clicking on another one of my videos. Today we're going to be doing a cook with me, making some salmon and asparagus. I make this meal like at least once a week, every week, if not twice a week, every week. It is so good, so simple. We're using one pan, we're using a few delicious seasonings. Here's how I make it. Alright, first things first, my pan is on medium, and I'm just gonna take some avocado oil spray. That probably won't focus, but I'll leave everything in the description below. And I'm just gonna spray my pan. Next, I'm going to take my asparagus. I'm using frozen asparagus today. Regular asparagus always goes bad in my fridge, so I use it frozen. If you're using fresh asparagus, it's pretty much the same process. So I'm just going to put that in there and then let that have its moment just defrosting. Alright, now that my asparagus has defrosted, I'm going to go in with a little bit of garlic. Just enough to cover the asparagus. And after that, I'm going to go in with some salt. Just a little bit. And then this Italian seasoning is a little bit sweeter, so that's what I'm going to put on top of that. But you'll see I'm going to use a different Italian seasoning on my salmon. This one tastes a little bit different and it has a little bit more basil, I think, which makes it a sweeter version, but it goes really good with the garlic in the salmon. Now my salmon's just chilling here. I'm going to wait for that garlic to kind of heat up with that asparagus some more. But as that is doing its thing, I'm going to go in with some onion powder on top of my salmon. Just a little bit. Something about onion powder on the salmon I really love personally. And then I'm going to go in with some Bruschetta Italian seasoning. This has sweet basil and oregano. This is like by far my favorite seasoning ever. Like ever, not just for salmon, just ever, period. And I'm going to take the salmon, the spoon that I use for the garlic, and kind of tap it in. Because the salmon is kind of moist, it will help the seasoning stick to it. And then right on top of that, I'm going to go in with some crushed red pepper. We're going to give it a little spice, a little heat. You can skip this step if you want, or you can actually add a little bit of cayenne if that is what you prefer. I like the chunkiness on the salmon though. Going back to our pan, we're going to move the asparagus around. And then we're just going to put it on one side. Now time to put our salmon in. So I'm just going to grab this bad boy and put it face down. And there we go. We're going to start cooking. I'm going to leave that on there till I start to see the color actually move up on the salmon. And it's going to just start turning into a whiter type pink and less translucent. And that's really what we want, and that's a sign that it is cooking. Alright, my salmon has been on for about 3 to 4 minutes so far. I'm just going to spray the skin a little bit with a little bit of oil. The last thing I want is for it to stick to the pan. But after I spray the skin, I'm just going to flip it around on that side. There we go. So this is how it should be looking on the top, nice and brown and crispy. So I'm just going to let it cook on this skin side for about 3 to 4 minutes as well before I start cooking the sides. Okay, next, I'm going to take the salmon. This is easier to do with a smaller piece, but we are going to make it work. I'm going to take this salmon and flip it on its side and then just hold it there so that it can cook. My tail is falling off a little bit, but don't worry about it. That piece is going to cook so fast that You gotta worry about this part right here and make sure that it's cooked. Okay, now that that's had some time, I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Let's see. And I cut the side a little bit uneven, so I'm actually gonna have to hold this side. But I'm just going to let it cook for 2 minutes on this side as well. And as you can see, we're starting to get this really nice brown seared color. And it's starting to cook all the way around. And then I'm just going to flip it back on its top. So it's gonna finish off cooking, so I'm gonna leave it for about 3 to 4 minutes and then it should be done. Mostly now I'm worried about making sure that this part, I can turn my pan. So now I'm just making sure that this part of the salmon, the thickest part, is cooked all the way. So you wanna make sure that's laying flat in the pan. And also don't forget about your asparagus. Just keep it moving. It's gonna get nice and charred. So it's going to be perfect and it's staying warm in the pan as well. Okay, now I'm going to check my salmon by flipping it over, and then any cracks that might have been made, you can just put your fork in there and you can see if your fish is done. Mine is not. Alright, it's been about 2 to 3 more minutes. And I'm just going to flip it over. Check it again. And my salmon is definitely done. Y'all hear that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And just juicy in the middle. Yes. Here is what my plate is looking like. Got a nice crisp on top. Don't sleep. I'm so happy you guys could join me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a good night, a good day, a good week, a good evening, a good morning. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video so that I know that you like it, so I can keep cooking. Well, I'm always going to keep cooking, but you know, I'll keep recording me cooking. I know I'm going to see you guys again because I know you already subscribed. So I will see you guys in my next video.